Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another session of Chronicles of Darkness Vampire the Requiem, a Requiem for London. Tonight's session finds ourselves once again in the Hammerhead Dive Bar. One Marcus Irons has planned to do a poker night for a while now, and so he sent off SMSs to kindred that he knows and that don't get horribly on his nerves, and asked them if they'd be interesting for a poker game, and 3 kindred have answered, one being Alicat, the Carthian Gangrel, Julian T. Goodman, the Order Dracul Gangrel, Natalia Belenko, Invictus Miquette, and our very own Marcus Irons, Ventru of the Order Dracul. So, we start the scene with Marcus sitting at the bar and waiting for his fellow players to arrive.
Ellie parks her bike and gets in. I don't think she's ever been here before, so she's just gonna kind of check out the place a little on guard because this is largely unknown terrain for her, but as far as she knows, she doesn't have an issue with the Ordo.
And as far as the Ordo knows, they don't have an issue with her.
Great! That works. So, yeah, she walks in, looks around, and as she sees Marcus, she'll just, wave and walks over.
Marcus notices her and waves, giving her a gesture over. Ah, Alicat, glad that you can make it.
Thanks for the invite.
I thought a bit of normality would do all of us good. We are currently just waiting for Mr. Goodman and Miss Belenko to show up, and then we can start our game. John here has been so nice to prepare the poker room in the back for us. I've already paid him for a few hours, so if all goes well, we should remain undisturbed.
Julian will begin walking near the entrance. Notice excuse me, Alicat and Irons, and we'll walk towards them and do a minor wave to them.
Ah, Julian, brilliant. Come over.
And he does. And he looks over to Alicat and does kind of just a confirming nod to her. Then looks back to Irons.
Ah, excellent. We're only waiting for Miss Belenko to show up, and then we can start our poker round.
Any particular version of poker planning on playing tonight?
Classic Texas Hold'em. I thought that's the most commonly known version. Mind you, I'm versed in several card games, so if different versions want to be played by the majority and nobody objects, we can do that as well.
I haven't played a lot of card games, but from what I've heard, I'm a quick learner, so, should be fine with most of them.
So, how have you been, Alicat?
Same old, same old. It's been rather uneventful, which is a pleasant change of pace.
Hey, losers.
What
You're going to deal me in, or
once we get in.
Natalia just sits down. Hey, everyone.
Ah, Natalia. Excellent. You're the last person we were waiting for. Now we could get back to the poker room and get ourselves comfy.
All right, great. So it's just card game. There's no ulterior motives. Please tell me there's no ulterior motives.
No ulterior motives, my dear. And he smiles reassuredly.
I mean, I can come up with a few if you really want to.
No, I'm good.
No. This is just supposed to be a good, friendly card game amongst good, friendly folk. Not more, not less.
No more,
You
no
use
less.
your hands for emphasis, as Julian kind of mimics that with his own hand.
Marcus makes some very clear gestures with his hands that he's having none of that political BS tonight.
I mean, Ali just kind of grins. She wasn't planning on any alternative motives, but just a little bit of tease.
It's okay. Actually, just give me a minute and I'll quickly double check that we'll be perfectly alone and unobserved. And with that, Marcus goes to the poker room. A few minutes later, he comes out and gives a nod. Good. There's definitely nothing watching us there. Come in. And he gestures them into the room.
He nods.
Okay, this actually might prove to be a normal and uneventful evening. I've been missing those things, but no, it's good. It will be fine. It will be fine.
I mean, never say that until the evening is actually over.
Yeah, that's true. It is true, but no, I mean now, and Natalia will probably grab the cards and begin to deal. And she'll just say, "So, ready to lose some money, or?"
You mean ready to win some money?
Fat chance. No, it's fine.
And you will see in the middle of a table a spread with different flavored chewing gums, different alcoholic beverages on the side, your whiskeys, your rums, your gins, and a few other things. And there is also a nice sort of ashtray on the side, and Marcus produces a wooden box, opens it up, and says, if any of the ladies or gentlemen would like a cigarillo, please be my guest. These are cognac dipped.
Cigarillo, isn't that the little,
What?
Little, and she does a gesture with her hand as is to indicate it probably doesn't mean anything to you. She just looks at you, just does the thing with her hand. A little, fruity. Like, should they be something manly like a cigar or something?
Oh, since you mention it, and he brings out a smaller wooden box, which has 3 Cuban cigars in them.
See, you should have led with that. That's much better. Like, cigarillo is like for the women in.
Well, not in my part of the world. But anyway, and I've also got...
Yeah,
And he just slaps a packet of Lucky Strike on the thing, and we've got bog standard cigarettes as well.
That looks way better. Ali will settle for that. She doesn't need all that fancy stuff.
He offers you a Lucky Strike and will even light it for you.
Natalia will actually take a cigar.
Yep. So will Marcus.
Right. Okay. So, with our
Texas Hold'em, standard rules.
yeah, I know, but well, I guess as much. But tell me, does it? Is anyone here? It's their first time, or everyone's familiar with the rules and stuff?
I'm familiar.
Good.
I
Bring
don't play
them.
very often, but I'm decently familiar. I'm probably the worst player at this table, but you know.
Yeah, it's all about luck anyway. It's not. It's fine. Actually, Captain Bring Down here should actually be the one who has a natural advantage.
Or how that?
He very, very rarely shows any emotions whatsoever, so it's going to be harder to read, you know?
So you just don't hang out with me long enough. You'll get it eventually.
Well, yeah, I guess, but I mean, I haven't, okay. I don't seem it likely, but okay, I'll take your word for it. And then Natalia will begin to shuffle, and she'll deal, and so, we're just playing for money or for favors?
That's up for you guys. I was thinking of money.
Yeah, I'm not that asshole. Not that much of an asshole, anyway.
I think you can be... sorry. You first.
And here I thought we were going to play for cookies.
Do you have any cookies?
Well, no. But I can get some.
We've only got biscuits here, good sir. He says with a sly grin.
Damn the player American's accent.
You really want to play for cookies? Really?
No.
I mean,
that was supposed to be a joke.
Okay, you might be starting to win me over. That's a joke. I mean, I haven't heard many jokes from you, but hey, it's a good sign.
That I don't want to play for.
Was that?
I wouldn't mind playing for a few pounds.
Good.
I would hate to honestly just run you guys out.
Oh, big words.
Yeah, it's the law of averages. I'm pretty sure I make more money than everybody here.
Jesus Christ, guys! If you want to do some cock comparison, you can do that outside. We're here to play.
Yeah, it's just part of the game, you know, sacking your opponents beforehand.
Ah, okay. Go ahead.
Thank you.
As he lights the cigar with a Zippo lighter. So what? No shit talking for me? I feel left out.
Didn't I say I made
Well,
everybody? I include everybody.
I've heard you say that you wanted me to ease off, so I'm going to ease off. You know, in general. That's what I thought anyway. But
I'm just bantering. I'm just bantering. Relax. Seriously, if any threat comes, I'll be the first one to stab it through with my sword. Don't worry.
I doubt we're gonna have any major threats. So
We really shouldn't have. But just saying, since I'm hosting this event, think of me as your unofficial Keeper of Elysium.
I almost recoils to say that, and she'll just say, and here I was having a good. And I don't know. We don't want to roll for this, right? We just want to say that.
It's up for you guys. If you want, I can roll a d10 for each of you and say what you get, and that says how good or bad your hand is. And we can do that round for round, or we just can have the poker game be in the background while the conversation is going. That's up to you guys.
I'm up for just having it in the background, just a thing that. Just
Cool, no problem.
Unless, of course, someone else has different ideas.
Everyone okay with that?
I'm fine with whatever.
Cool.
It's cool with me.
No, it's fine. It's fine. At that case, when people conclude the game, I'll just roll a dice and see who overall was the winner and who goes away with a little bit of pocket money. But yes, with that, right. Marcus takes up his cards, studies them, and puts on his best poker face.
So, just a quick question. Have you heard about those disappearing, killings lately?
Which there have been so many in the last 3 months.
I thought you didn't want to talk about business, as Julian begins messing with some of his.
No, I'm just wondering, since we're already in gambling mode. Was wondering if anyone would want to take a bet on it. I say that it takes 1 month until some of us get called in to deal with that shit, because it's probably going to be connected to us some way, somehow. Or is it going to take more than a month? I'm just wondering. Of course, if you don't want to bet, that's fine. But it was just, yeah.
It's a bit macabre betting on the possible death of people.
No, it's not. No, that's not. Hey, that's not what I meant. I meant, like, how long until it becomes our problem? Like, something we have to.
You mean somebody makes it our problem?
Exactly. Like always.
So, what is your stance? What do you want to bet, and what do you want to bet on?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be money. It's just.
Just for the bragging rights.
Bragging rights, and instead of bitching like I normally do, I was trying to make it interesting, because problems are going to become our problems soon, and I wanted to vent about it, but never mind.
All right, fair enough. No, that's fine. I'll call you on the bet. I'll say that it'll take more than a month that they make it our problem. There you go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, let me guess. They don't have many relaxed poker nights in the Invictus, country club or whatever.
Surely they do. They have their slaves as chairs, and then they feed off half the staff.
Natalia just looks at you.
Marcus just shudders at the idea. Ugh, perish the thought. And And if anything, I would really expect them to have more class than that.
Is this the second joke tonight?
I'm trying.
No, not you, Captain Springdown. Like, was that a joke again?
Do you, so are you saying that you guys do have slaves for chairs?
No, I'm just coming there like you're joking all the time. Are you all right?
And he nods, like kind of confused. Unless
Yeah,
you
it's just
are being
good
wrong.
to see you. Like maybe you are, but like maybe. Well, it's just good. It's just unusual for me to, for you to be like this. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, he's a practical jokester around me. Well, you just have to get to know him long enough, and then you realize when he's joking. 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I guess
That's-
I've just been unlucky. I suppose. I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I call.
Taylor looks him up and down. Yeah, that's very convincing. So, she looks him over. Yeah, I'll raise it, just for the fun of it.
Okay, I'm going with the raise. Marcus seems quite confident.
No, I'll raise it again. Yes. Now Jill begins pushing a few coins and papers around, and I can tell you right now, some of those killings were me. Yeah.
I assume those people had it coming, though.
There were gangers with the Violet case.
They had it coming.
Ellie is actually gonna like feel her phone buzzing, and she's gonna look. Crap.
Just
Well-
so you know, you can't take your money back if you forfeit.
Those are the rules.
Yeah, it's fine. Duty calls. I don't know what my sire wants this time, but I'll catch you guys later.
Ah,
That can't be
what a
good.
shame. But give her my regards, I guess.
Yep.
Are you
I'll let her
going-
know that she was disturbing me in a very important, multi-faction discussion.
That's true. It is very important. Well, kind of.
Okay, but please, if yeah, okay. See you next time, Alicat. Good luck.
Thanks. Later.
Later.
Don't know, but. And Natalia will just call. I'm guessing it's the end of the round, so she will just she will check unless there is a raise.
Marcus raises by another few pounds.
Then Natalia will re-raise him.
Julian will place his card on the table. It's like, you're just doing it now to do it. As he folds.
All right. So what do we have?
Okay, I would say in this case, I'll quickly roll the dice. First for you. Exactly. Let's use the online dice roller. That's the easiest one. 1d10. And now myself. Okay. So, Miss Belenko got a 9 out of 10. Marcus, and, hand on heart, got a 10 on his 10. So, as Natalia puts her cards out, she has got a pretty good combination. In most cases, it would be almost a winning combination, but Marcus smiles as he puts his cards, and he's got the highest combination that by 2 points beats Natalia's combination. Just commenting, read and weep.
Yeah, lucky bastard.
So you did have something.
We both had something.
Oh, I folded, remember?
Yeah, but the two of us, like,
Out of curiosity, what did you have?
just show.
I'll quickly roll for him as well, and he got a 5. So a pair and a few other cards. Definitely a good deal lower than the two of us. Fair enough. Marcus bends forward and starts moving the money towards him. Right, second round.
Let's go.
So, how have things been for everyone?
Quiet for right now.
Happy to hear it.
Relatively quiet, I suppose, but you can never totally tell, can you? It's like, oh yeah, nothing's wrong, yeah, everything is fine, and disaster strikes.
As usual. Yeah, I had a bit of a run-in with a fellow who turned out to have something in common with me. Wasn't expecting that, but I actually got at least a few answers, and even more questions.
Yeah, did you finally find Jonathan?
Yeah, we had a chat. Turns out some motherfucker, most likely the guy who is responsible for my unhappy state. Let's put it that way. Seemed the fucker planted some subconscious message in my brain, and I was having the darnest time concentrating on anything else until I brought Dr. Mauro to Wandsworth. At which point the fucking command finally disappeared and I felt at peace again.
Did you know you were coming?
No, Jonathan's guess is that whoever messed with my vitae, embraced me and shit, might probably be a kindred called the Wolf. Pfft, fucking edgy asshole.
Julian's face kind of scrunches up.
Oh, so you've heard of the bastard?
Yeah. He is. He's nearly, I believe. Though Not to be confused with the typical term, an Archon or an Ascended. High-ranking member of the Order that at least has a mastery over 2 coils.
Oh, that's brilliant. Just fucking brilliant. But good to know. I mean, not right now, but if later you happen to know which stuff he has mastery over.
It's not something that he brags about.
Well, he's proven to be a sneaky bastard. But yeah, turns out the wolf was also responsible for, snatching the other fellow off the street, doing God knows what with him. Probably similar shit that he was doing with me, with the difference that I probably got all the nasty, horrific memories dominated out of my skull. And that also explains why he and I have this sort of blood sympathy that I normally only have with other Ventrue. It's the craziest thing.
I don't know, Lass. Julian picks up another card. My sire says eventually I should talk to him for advice.
Come to think of it, I never did ask you who your sire was.
She's a member of the Mysteries.
I take it you want to have a name remain a mystery.
No, I forgot. But he will say she goes by the alias of Brisby Nim, but she has a true name.
Gotcha. But yeah, won't lie, is a weird situation to be in. Simultaneously learning shit from the Ordo and also finding out that I was one of their science experiments. Apparently.
It seems to be a whole thing. Like, people doing fucked up shit and making people do things against their will and lying and shit. There's a lot of that going around.
I mean, it probably shouldn't surprise me because there was plenty of that shit going on in the background when I was alive. Not directly involved in it, of course, but, you know, even on the front lines, you get to hear rumors.
Yeah. Still, would be nice if there wasn't as much just unbelievable fuckery. I don't know, like.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Morally very questionable shit. Even for our standards.
Apparently quite similar, since there is that much of it. I mean, I'm guessing this sort of thing is somewhat normal.
Well, officially let's just say the creation of fellows with my condition is something that is not supposed to happen. At least since the end of the last kindred conflict that took place here in the city, way before my time. I've only heard cursory stuff, and finding info on, let's just say in the archives, has proven to be surprisingly difficult. As he
like
puts
war
out
crimes,
the cigar.
War crimes for survivors. Well, war crimes for the people who committed them tend to be things you don't write a lot about.
Yeah. Let's just say finding out that Sir Alsop is not Sir Alsop at all, just and having heard the story of the other guy, I mean, with me at least they had and he does the air quotation marks, decency of not letting me remember what fucked up shit they did. He apparently has got some very vivid memories of that stuff, so think of it in that way. One day you're walking your dog, minding your own fucking business, just a normal day. Next thing you know, you're clobbered over the head and you wake up strapped to a fucking vivisection table, and I'll spare you the details, but let's just say what was described was thoroughly horrifying. Some proper Dr. Mengele shit. And then just thrown into a war zone with as much as a hello or what the hell is he supposed to do? Seems they didn't expect him to survive that long, or keep his fucking marbles.
But can't there be anyone? Well, I suppose some are, but what is with all this like torture and psychopath business? I really don't get it. Like,
I don't fucking either. I'm just trying to make the best out of a shitty situation. One thing's for sure, if I ever get the fucker who is responsible for what he did to me, and in that case also Jonathan, I'll make sure he gets his comeuppance. He puts out the cigar as he takes another one and lights it.
from what I've heard of Jonathan, I mean, sure, you should totally get vengeance and stuff, but I don't think it's necessary. Jonathan sounds like the kind of guy who could probably do that by himself. Not saying you shouldn't do it, but just
Seriously, I wasn't minding to undermine. He's probably a good deal more capable than I am at the moment, but
I think she's more about worried about your safety. Less that you're undermining him.
no, that wasn't my idea at all. Okay, fair enough. Just if I get him under my thing, I'll make him pay. But yeah, wouldn't be surprised if I would give Jonathan a call just so that he can exact some vengeance as well. I never liked bullies. I think so much is obvious.
and who does? Like, I don't know. Is it just me, or is that one of those things that goes without saying? I suppose it doesn't go without saying, given some of the people around us, but still.
That's why I mention it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Then again, there are some people around us who, not just giving me the creeps is one thing, but downright scaring me with how inhuman they are. That's a whole different kettle of fish. But anyway, enough of those assholes. There's also been some good that has been happening to me, so that's an upside. Mind you, being at the burial of my auntie wasn't fun, but we saw the old lass off.
Sorry, auntie?
An aunt of mine died a few weeks back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. But yeah, we made sure she got safely transported to the other side. When nobody looked, I also slipped some silver coins.
Oh,
on her eyelids, just in case. Call me a
okay.
superstitious fellow, so that she can pay the
Oh.
ferryman, just in case the ferryman exists.
Right, I didn't even think about that. Like, that might actually be a thing.
I mean, we are a thing. Lupines are a thing. Ghosts, or at the very least, spirits are a thing. So why shouldn't the afterlife be a thing?
Yeah, I suppose it's just a lot of this crap I just tend to stay away from just because, just like,
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Think of it more as an insurance, just to be on the safe side. I mean, there are moments where I just really have to pinch myself just to reaffirm that what is happening to me is happening to me, and it isn't just some fucking hallucination.
Mm.
yeah, just sadly, I think we're way beyond hallucinations. Trust me, I wish that was a thing as well, but I
I
don't
know
know.
it isn't. I know it isn't, but don't forget, I'm a little younger than most of you fellows, so I guess I still have to settle in a bit.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. Things are looking up. Even managed to uh, get into a hobbyist club. It. How should I say? Really does wonders for your mind just being around normal people and doing normal ass shit.
Mm.
You know, just having a good time with mates, so to speak. No politics, no fucking back dealings, no conspiracies that would make Alex Jones greed with jealousy.
Yeah, I don't think jealous. Well, I suppose it could be. It's it's really kind of weird. Like, really fucking out there. Alex Jones, Jesus.
Yep, yeah, he is out there. Mind you, there are certain sections where even I just have to have a good chuckle. Doesn't mean that I necessarily believe everything he says, but you know, he has his moments, I guess.
Honestly, somehow I think that guy is on the take somehow. Like
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be
like
surprised.
he's one of the lunatics that makes other things sound like whenever you have someone like that, other things just like it sounds like it comes from the Alex Jones show, and then you don't really have to take it all that serious because it's obviously too ridiculous. Not saying that's the case. I mean, guess that's also conspiratorial in a way, but yeah.
Well, as somebody who had to do with a lot of airplanes in my time, I can assure you, chemtrails are not a thing.
Oh
And
yeah,
and
that's not what I meant. I meant someone in charge has him say all this really crazy shit, so that whenever someone comes up and says that kindred are a thing, they would just say, "Oh, you're just like Alex Jones. You're fucking crazy."
mm,
Oh, that's the kind of thing I've. That was what I meant.
ah, never thought of it like that, but it definitely is a possibility. Wouldn't be the most devious shit that our kind has done.
Nope, it wouldn't.
I'll raise you.
Julian nods and says, I'll call. Actually, I won't even call. I'll raise you.
Oh, big spender here.
I got the means.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. I typically see people every day, outside the normal, obviously walking around, but I still manage people. Ugh.
Good. I found the more you are around the mortals, the easier it gets to slip back into roles, so to speak. Plus, sometimes it's really refreshing just to hear their first world problems.
Uh, oh, at least she didn't. At least she didn't say the thing I thought you were going to say.
His eyes narrow. What do you think I was about to say?
I've heard that from certain older kindred. They like just the fact that they have heartbeats. Yeah.
It wasn't really, really sad and scary if you just said that. That would be like a kick-ass line for a rock music. You don't know that, right?
Marcus produces a notebook and he notes that down.
I like the fact they have a heartbeat. Something like that. Like it's pretty metal, honestly.
Yeah. What kind of metal would you say? Black,
Obviously,
thrash.
obviously death metal. Obviously death metal.
And he notes down death metal.
You might actually send if you write up the song, you should probably send it to My Dying Bride or something. That would be right up their alley, I think.
Maybe. Well, I wouldn't want to use my gifts for such frivolous shit.
That's not frivolous. Music is quite the pursuit, honestly.
I've only got an acoustic guitar at home at the moment, but I'm sure I could come up with a reasonable tune to go with that.
Nah, don't worry about it. I got it.
Nah, forget it. I'm going to worry about it as much as I want. He gives you a roguish smile.
You do know that I'm kind of a professional singer, right?
Oh, is that what you do?
No, I actually didn't know that.
You thought you were in fashion.
Fuck you.
So, have you got your own band, or have you got your own record label? Come on.
Actually,
give us some
have
crumbs.
a band, but it's a whole thing at the moment. It's it's complicated. There is a break or something, but we've had a couple of gigs, but they wanted to change training schedule. Well, practice to daylight hours. So yeah, I had to do some what do we call it?
Cajoling, persuasion.
Well, I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but something like that. I have to come up with some sort of plan before I meet them again. It's.
Gotcha. Oh well. To be fair, I'm pretty rusty on the guitar. Has been a few years since I owned one.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'd probably go with my guitar, but
No, it's fine. It was more a general comment, as in I definitely have to freshen up, especially if I want to step up my busking game.
Busking game,
Yeah,
really?
a man needs a hobby. Plus, it keeps me honest, for the most part.
It remains to be seen. Yeah.
Whoa, why thank you. Your endorsement of trust really means a lot to me, he says in an obviously sarcastic tone.
What do you want? Like, I'm a Maquette and I'm part of the Invictus. Like, what do you expect me to be distrustful of anyone? Do you expect anything else?
I guess not. I just assumed
There
that
you go.
people might actually look at my actions and maybe forget it. Doesn't matter, and he waves it away.
And also really like giving you a hard time. There is also that.
Well, it is easy. I know I'm an easy target. But then again, your luck is that I actually like you, so you can get away with it.
So, yeah.
So, yeah. But
Yeah, that's what I got right
did I
now.
miss something?
No, I'm thinking out loud.
What is the name of your band, if I might be so crass?
Curve Stomp.
Cornerstone?
Curve Stomp.
It's a punk band. So when I say singer, I mean more like screamer, at least when I'm performing. It's quite loud.
Let me guess. It sounds as if you're squeezing his balls slowly but surely.
No. It's about, not necessarily passion, but deeply held like emotions about like betrayal and shit.
Yeah.
And stuff you won't stand for and stuff you shouldn't stand for and all that.
I used to be really into music like that when I was younger. I guess to a certain extent I still am. Although I would say my music taste has mellowed out over the decades.
Don't tell me. Country music. You're into country music now.
He throws you a dirty look. Ugh. No.
That was priceless. Thank you for that.
I feel personally offended that you think
You should
that
be. That was the point.
I'm a fucking metalhead and proud of it. I was there when the first waves of metal, British and American, came out. Fuck it. I was at some of those first concerts.
Huh.
When Angel Witch positively set the fucking stage on fire. It was glorious.
I wouldn't have figured, but great. Well, that's good.
And yeah, I remember going to the Metallica concert with and he catches himself. Going with acquaintances. That was pretty fun too.
Going with your... I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I think Dr.
My
Freud made a
friends,
visit.
with my friends. Frankly, you won't even have to roll for that one. He's clearly lying. He meant to say something else.
Your boyfriend, girlfriend, what?
Good mates of mine, squaddies.
Okay, that's fine.
I won't be giving any names for obvious reasons.
Of course, like I'm just being nosy. I shouldn't be.
You're being Maquette. I'm used to your kind being nosy.
Well, thank you for being so understanding. She
If
just kind of shoots you a weird look.
I'm still pretty convinced that Nikolai is spying after me. I can't really prove it, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, like don't get me wrong, but that guy gives me the creeps.
Not only you, my dear.
Mm,
Doesn't mean that his motivations are particularly nasty towards me, but I'm pretty sure he's regularly snooping around my
Yeah, I
place.
guess he has to, but still.
At this point, if I really wanted, I could just fuck off, and no other kinder in London would probably ever again see hide or hair of me. But I'm not done yet. I've got questions, and I'm
Yeah, but
planning to get them answered.
the wolf, apparently. Yeah,
For real.
you're right. It's kind of a very pretentious name, honestly. The wolf. Like, yeah, that's really pretentious, actually.
You should maybe
fish
look
here.
out. Oh, sorry, you wanted to say?
So they sell fish here.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff that isn't lining up, but my working theory currently makes more sense than I like it to. I wouldn't be surprised if me conveniently coming across those two Gangrel Ordo who inducted me, and then that little memory that triggered something of certain spectral foul that I will not talk any further about. Working theory is that I was probably sent to, and that they probably planned me to sort of trip over it and do that. Either that, or they were expecting me to bump into a few other guys and literally going berserk on them and causing more chaos. I really don't appreciate being played for a fucking sucker. Not at all. And his fangs show a little bit more than they should before they retract again.
Yeah, that feels really fucking. It looks like Natalia's thinking about something, but she doesn't mention it. She just goes quiet a bit. And she just says, "Look, if you and Jonathan, you have this, right? You don't need backup on this, right?"
Currently, I can't make any move anyway, because as I learned, the guy has got more tricks up his sleeve than I have. And I also know too little about the guy. Just trying to find him and barge into his territory and try to confront him would end probably to 85% in a disaster for me. Either final death or worse. Nah.
Right, right. Yeah, you shouldn't do that, but it's just, I don't know, like, you know what? I get it. Like, you can handle it, but Man, there's a lot of this fucking skullduggery, isn't that the word?
Yes, that's absolutely the right word for it. He takes a long drag of his cigar. His expression is hard to read at the moment.
Fucking secret bullshit.
If we were less secret, we wouldn't be around now, would we? Not saying that it's fair or even right, but at least for me, I try to keep my experiments as relatively humane as possible. But after a certain point, me, and I learned this from my times in college, you gotta break. If you don't bend or break any lines, you can't go any further, or at least it takes too long. It's not an excuse for what they did to you, but think of it this way: your mind's intact, and you're gonna get inherently stronger than your peers. And it's not like you're gonna get any closer to finding death. Doesn't mean you shouldn't kick that guy's ass, but
Well, when you say it like that, like your mind is intact. The problem is we don't know any of us if our minds are intact. It's one of the major problems about this. We don't actually know.
Here is the problem. I don't know if the memories I have pre-embrace are genuine memories or if they weren't just planted there. I don't know how many hidden commands might still be lurking in this noggin of mine.
Exactly my point.
And I don't have a good idea of how far this conspiracy, for the lack of a better word, how deeply I'm involved in it, wittingly or more likely unwittingly. So yeah, that's enough to fuck anyone's mind a bit over that thing. If I guess I should count myself lucky that I'm not a civilian. Well, haven't that I've got the words fail me.
I only bring it up this way, at least from my life experiences. If I remembered what I was and somebody made me forget and made me what I am now, I honestly would appreciate it. There's
Hmm.
nothing good about my old life.
Hmm. Yeah. The funniest part is one part of me just want to says, don't pursue it, don't check it, just, build up your little castle, fortify it, and just get on with your own life. But there's also another part of me just screaming for justice, and I'm having a hard time ignoring it.
Not saying that you should. Just say be aware. If you're really going against the wolf, you might want to just keep it down to maybe a heated conversation.
Good advice as usual. That's why I like you. Well, that, and because I'm actually convinced that you're a pretty decent fellow, even if you seem to have not quite the same view of yourself.
Mm.
Pardon my bluntness.
Well, I know what I've been and what I'm capable of. You guys weren't there that particular night with those gangers. When I was in my frenzy, though, I was riding the wave. Mm. Some parts of me tells me I should feel guilty. Another part of me does feel like I really should care. That ganger had no chance. It was like breaking a twig when I ripped off his head. They scattered after that point.
So they were not complete idiots.
Now, those were mortals. The fact that for over 2 minutes of constant stabbing and bullets that I seemed unfazed already spooked them.
Yeah. Well, you do know that you have a right to defend yourself. Any sentient being has that right.
That they do, but I knew what my intentions were. I was caught investigating a scene. I made the decision that their lives didn't mean anything, and I allowed myself. And I forced myself into a frenzy to make sure I stayed alive, and purposely tried to kill them all.
Wait, was this the day that your legs got fucked up?
No, I was a hunger frenzy that day.
Christ.
No, this was investigating a violet shipment. So I believe on the south side of town. You didn't hear about it, which I'll say this much. Violet is definitely Kindred controlled. And there may be at least 2 different factions, including possibly the Ordo or the Invictus.
Or call this a wild stab in the dark. Maybe both.
I haven't had the chance to get my direct report to the Ordo and ask them questions if they would even be kind enough to tell me the truth.
Bad
Yeah.
chance of that happening.
The truth. A very rare commodity in our world.
Yeah, that's what I just. Never mind.
Means that I'm listening. And he gives you a wink.
Right. So, gentlemen, I am thinking. Yeah, she looks at her phone. Just say, yeah, I have to fucking work, calls. I will see you guys later. But yeah, don't be too hard on each other. And Natalia will say goodbye to the both of you, and then she will leave.
Marcus nods, even offers a nice friendly handshake, and with that she leaves, leaving the 2 Ordo in the room. I mean, don't. It probably sounds as if I'm whining, and probably I'm probably just ranting a little bit because I find it helps if I vocalize it. It helps me not to internalize it too much. I've read that recently in a self-help book. But I don't see any reason to judge you, mate. The important thing is that you have been able to learn from the situation, because that would be the biggest crime, not to draw your conclusions from it.
Julian nods. That's what has always been my biggest focus, even back on the streets. I don't say this thing as in trying to be a martyr or a flagellator of myself. I say this as a reality of my situation. I was a beast before, but now I'm a monster. But at least I'm aware that I am one. I don't try to lie to myself that I do things, I say, for a greater cause in putting myself out of that category.
Mm.
I
Then
will,
again,
I will always be a monster. I just try to do my best to pretend, or at least act like a man.
here is an idea for you, and call it extreme if you want to. It's probably pointless to try and compare yourself to others, because others have got different life experiences, histories, variations of the blood running through them, mind fuckery done on them or not, emotional abuse, you name it. There are probably all kinds of permutations. Don't try to be like others. Just try every night to be a tiny bit better than you were the last night. And also celebrate small successes, because if you don't celebrate small successes, you just start getting disheartened and being harsher on yourself than is fair by any standard. Oh, there I go again, lecturing. Sorry. I guess you never quite stop being a dad.
Julie nods. And he'll put some more money on the table. Do you call?
I call. Shall we see where the proof is in the pudding?
And he'll place his cards down on the table.
Okay, I'll roll a d10 for you and then a d10 for myself and let you know what we get. Okay, so you got a 7, Julian that is, and for crying out loud, Marcus got an 8. So I would say Julian puts out his cards and has a low road. A reasonably good hand to have, but Marcus just puts his cards and he's got a high road. Seems I'll be relieving you from the pocket money.
And he nods.
And Marcus takes his winnings and seems quite pleased with that. And then turns to Julian. Right, that's I would say that's enough poker for one night. But I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll preface this question a little bit. I see that a lot of kindred, apart from being part of a covenant, rather tend to be just doing their own little thing, and everyone is very jealously guarding their little plot of land or little kingdom or whatever you want to call it. And I'm actually surprised, and I've seen our dear Archon and his coterie, and they seem to be doing quite well for themselves. And I'm actually surprised to not see. I haven't come across any other coteries around, especially when it comes to the younger kindred. And what I'm trying to say is, would you be interested in forming a coterie with me? You know, just for a while. You know, have somebody who has your back, keeps an eye out, maybe keeps an ear out in places where you can't hear, and vice versa.
I see no reason not to.
Frankly, I'm of the opinion that if we two have each other's back, we can also defend ourselves a bit better from pressure from outside or from third parties.
not like we haven't been working with each other as it is, so no.
Yeah,
A more direct alliance would be a good idea.
yeah. I know both of us have our little projects, and as far as I can see, our goals are not really clashing with each other. I want to learn some more of the coils. I want to learn more about my condition, and I also just want to set myself up in a position that, let's just say, after a while, I won't even have to bother with the acquisition of money. How should I say? Once I've got hit critical mass, money has this lovely tendency of just reproducing itself.
Jillian nods to that.
And maybe at that point I could maybe even run, a small smithy or some metalworking shop and start selling my wares online or something in that direction. And maybe also do some custom things, but all in good time. Plus, of course, I would not that you would need it, but as my coterie mate, I'd also be willing to teach you things that I wouldn't be so willing to teach strangers or just vague acquaintances. For example, if you wanted to ever get into the mystery of the Ascendant, I'd be more than happy to mentor you in that aspect. I've grown quite proficient in that one.
He nods to that.
Or maybe in time. At the very least, if you would ask me to teach you Dominate, I would solemnly consider it. And that's not something that I'd be handing out to anyone anytime soon.
I wouldn't ask that of you. That is your privilege to have my birthright. Learning the Ascendant would not be would be a good boon for me to have.
Yeah, of course, with the understanding that if I were to teach you something like that, that you would maybe consider teaching me something you're a specialist at.
He nods.
Let's just say the whole idea of being able to merge with the ground during the day sounds like a really nifty trick to have.
Well, we'll be learning that together, because I don't know how to do that either.
Well, I have to say other Venture will probably say to their chagrin or some shit like that, but as you have seen, I currently only really know the very basics, but I think I'm getting a hang of the slightly more advanced stuff. Slowly, it's a slow process. Until a few months ago, I absolutely hated myself when I used it. Now, I'm just ill at ease. Mostly because I've used it for the lack of a better word, for good intentions.
It's not like you're robbing people, so.
Nah, thanks to you, frankly. I was considering it before you came along, and I'm not proud of that thought, but I had considered it. But you were so nice to give me a leg up, and as sad as it is that Auntie Margaret copped it, Turns out I was one of her favorite nephews, so thank you. And he'll pour himself a glass and lift it, and that's to you, Auntie Margaret, as he downs it.
And he nods and will begin putting up the cards back into the deck.
Yeah. And Marcus looks at the thing. Well, we've still got a few hours, but you probably have to go and check in. Check up on your stuff, and I don't want to keep you longer.
He nods.
But yeah, I guess in that case, there's only one thing left to do. And he offers his hand. Seal our coterie with a good old-fashioned handshake?
He'll grasp it tightly.
Marcus gives you the most valiant effort at a good, sturdy handshake that he can muster at 2 points of strength. But yeah, I heard that a name is traditional, but we can worry about such frivolous stuff another time.
Yeah.
And with that, he opens the door for Julian.
And he will take it.
Marcus will close the door and go to the bartender and just give him a few words before looking back to Julian. Yeah, you can clearly hear that he's saying to the bartender, "Hey, John, it's free now. Thanks for reserving it for me." "Oh, yeah, no problem, mate. You're always welcome." And with that, unless there is anything else the players want to say,
Nope.
we shall end the scene here with Mr. Goodman leaving the Hammerhead and Marcus carousing a little bit more with the local bikers, at least for another half hour before making his way back to his haven. And with that, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This was another session of Vampire the Requiem, Requiem for